So it'll come across okay?
Yep, looks good, Joel.
All right. Well, there's our motto. And I think most of us have seen that before, but I wanted to put that out there as a reminder. We live in a pretty awesome place at a challenging time right now, but we expect great things in the future, of course. And as we go forth, this is one of my favorite quotes about engineering, and I'll let you read through it. But this is really I think the last line of that, this is the engineer's high privilege. And I think all of those in the practice or entering the practice kind of feel the same thing, that we have an obligation and an opportunity that few people have. And we're blessed to have that and to be brought together today to kind of celebrate that. And I'll put out a quick reminder, I'll mention this again later, that tomorrow's commencement. And for the graduating seniors, that may seem like an ending, but a commencement is a beginning. And you're embarking on a career that's very special. And I know a lot of people on the call today feel the same way. So with that, I'll introduce today's guests and speakers. We'll be Dr. Bob Holmes, President Academy recently, and also on our our faculty and an alum, and primarily at USGS, and Amy Strauss, who was president of the Academy in recent years. And with that, I'm going to start the scroll, and Dr. Showalter is going to share a little bit about our senior class. You're on, Dr. Showalter.
All right, I'm going to talk over the top of the slides as you read the slides. So I'm just a few facts about senior design this semester. For those of you that don't know, we designed a 80,000 square foot office building with parking and site drainage. There was some remediation, an old gas station that had to be remediated. Turns out it ended up in reality being about a $25 million project. And Daniel Ellis from Craft and Tull, one of our alumni and Academy members, was our client this time. And the interesting thing that I learned is that in Springdale, Arkansas, land is about $10 a square foot, which comes out to close to $500,000 an acre, and sometimes as much as $20 a square foot. So that was what I learned this semester. We did have 70 students in the class this semester, 70 students earning 77 degrees and 8 minors. 13 were environmentals, 15 ARC-E degrees, 8 of those straight ARC-E, and the others were ARC-E and CE, accounting for those extra degrees. I think there were 49 civils in total, 8 of those in Springfield. And among the minors, I may have missed a few, we had E-Man, geological, business, psychology, and finance. We also had some second BS students. Kind of gives us a quick overview of the class. I've been involved in this class since fall of '03, when we graduated a total of 31, all civils, and we graduated 64 that year. And then the next year we added ARC-Es, and then we added environmentals, and I've taught it time and time and time again until this semester with 70 students this semester. And I think if my count is right, I've had now 2,096 students in senior design. I asked students to do a survey. If you're on this and you haven't done the survey yet, it should still be open. Please take it. But among those that took it, looks like on average, people put in about 8 to 10 hours a week in this class, which I don't think is too much, but hopefully you don't think it's too much either. When you go out and go to work, you'll find out that those kind of hours are common for us engineers. Some of the other questions I asked are, what are your plans after school? And of the people that replied, 11% said they were immediately going to graduate school. Another 26% said they would probably be going to graduate school within a few years, which means a little over a third of our class, this class, thinks they'll attend graduate school in the near future. On the other hand, close to half said they didn't ever plan to go to graduate school. Graduation, employment plans, besides graduate school, and again, I've got a small sample here, but as usual, there's about a third going into the construction area. We've got a sizable chunk going into structural, transportation, hydrology and hydraulics area, water treatment, wastewater treatment, remediation, lighting design, HVAC, and a few other areas that I don't have on my list here. Let's see. As far as job offers, about a third of people reported they had a job offer before the semester even began. For that and other reasons, I appreciate you sticking with the class all the way through. And about half or more had job offers by midterm. Average salaries of those that reported it to me look pretty solid. Even though this has been a rough year, I think the job outlook is still pretty good. Normally, I would have people stand up who are officers in professional societies and things. Since that isn't really practical now, I will just say how much we appreciate all of you who have been officers in the many professional societies that we have in our department: ASCE, Chi Epsilon, ACI, AEI, AGC, Water Environment Federation, ITE, as well as other organizations outside of our department. And likewise, we appreciate those of you who have dedicated so much time and talent to our design teams: Steel Bridge, Concrete Canoe, ACI, Concrete Cube team, and teams that are located outside of our department: Solar Decathlon, which is not really outside our department, but some of the other teams that are, Engineers Without Borders, and all the other teams that you help so much with. And then my last thing that I'm going to say is I'm sorry about not getting to know most of you better this semester. Normally I'm in and out of senior design lab and I get to know you a little bit this semester, especially those of you that just took 4448 with me last semester when we were interrupted in our in-person classes. And then this semester when I didn't see most of you face to face anyway, I barely got to know some of you at all. Some of you I've known since you were freshmen. Some of you I've traveled with. I've been to as far as Las Vegas with a couple of you, and I've been to Bolivia with some students, and others I barely get to know. I wish I'd gotten to know you better. Please stay in touch if there's anything we can do for you. And with that, I'm about done and ready to hand it back.
We'll go back to the scroll in just a few minutes. We'll have plenty of time to get through that a couple times today, but we want to make sure we hit on this. And I put this out there as our mission because it is our mission. It's a collective, and we do this mostly through our students. We expect great things, and especially the seniors going forward, you'll have an opportunity to make a mark on the world, and we hope that will be your goal as well. So now we get to the fun part of the show, and I get to congratulate some of our senior awardees. And if you're online, please go ahead and say thank you or do a screen capture, whatever the case may be. And with no further ado, our first one is Lizzie Sanders. I just want to say these awards are a unique combination. So some of our Academy members years ago put forth these awards, and they're specifically set to be nominations from the student body and from the student organizations for people that they feel are leaders. And then the scholarship committee and the seniors get to weigh in on it, and the top selections from both lists get it, and then a combination of that. So it's a tough choice. There are so many qualified people that it's pretty special. And Brandon Christian, I should say Lizzie was our ASCE president last semester and vice president this semester, and also one of our ambassadors for when students visit. Brandon was a Chi Epsilon president previously, and is doing undergraduate research now on masks, kind of timely for our work, and doing a great job. Devin, I still remember meeting Devin as I think an entering sophomore, and thinking she was a little bit further along because she just stepped up and has been one of our leading ambassadors along the way, as well as president of AGC, and kind of an omnipresence around the department whenever we need some assistance. Kirsten, one of our TAs, graduate, or should say, teaching assistants for surveying, very active in, I think, most of our student organizations, but in particular, EWB, as you see the picture over here, on many levels. Jenna, I apologize I didn't get a picture. I did get one right beforehand, but I didn't get it loaded, so I apologize for that. And Jenna is an officer in at least 2 different organizations, but she's also the lead surveying TA and takes on a big load for our department, which we really appreciate, and I know our students appreciate greatly. Erin from our MSU program is ASCE president for I think a year and a half now down there, but also doing undergraduate research while holding down a job in the meantime, and doing some fantastic work down at MSU and impact. And Raymond, and I specifically didn't have a good picture for Raymond, so I think he knows where this one's from. And I'll be taking bids to whether or not we should roll that video or not, Raymond. Any input there?
I will leave that up to you.
Okay.
I
Raymond,
think you should do it.
Raymond is very
Maybe if there's time.
Okay, I'll send the link later. Raymond is very active in AGC, helps out in a lot of different student organizations, and this was part of a video that he and another student put together. And again, this list could go on and on. We have so many contributors to our program in so many ways, and I just can't say enough that our program and what we do as an institution is entirely on the shoulders of our students. And we're proud of what these guys have done, as well as all of our seniors. So there are certificates that will be framed and available to you. Unfortunately, we didn't have a chance to hand them out. You can't do it ahead of time, and they're not quite there, but if you happen to be through the building, they should be available. We'll figure out a way to get them to you one way or another. So thank you. Thank you to the entire senior class, but thanks to this group that give of themselves. And again, one of the main criteria is outside of the classroom. What do the students do to do something special? And we had a long list of nominees this year, so congratulations to all. And with that, I will hand it over to our academy. These are awards given from our academy to young-ish up-and-comers, we'll say.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations, seniors. And my name is Amy Strauss. I graduated in '90 with a Bachelor in Civil and '91 with a Master's in Structures, and a member of the Academy and staying in touch with the department. I love seeing what you guys are doing. It's so awesome. And I'm pleased right now to announce the Academy Young Alumni Awards. The first one going to James Dooning. Joel, correct me if I said that wrong. Yep. All right, James Dooning, and he received his bachelor in '04 and a master's in 2013. Then I want to turn it back over to Joel because he can fill in some details there on information about James.
Gladly, or Big Jim D, as he was kind of known a little bit around there that time. And Jim has been a very good alum. He's come back numerous times, not as much of late. He's actually working largely.
Ashley, I am so excited that you graduated and somehow
and he's been a leading Habitat for Humanity volunteer in the Orlando area, and was recently selected by the Business Journal of Orlando in Florida as one of the top 40 under 40. So that's pretty outstanding. And this was all business areas, not just civil engineering by any stretch of the imagination. So you think of an area like that. And he actually still has his family in Missouri, so travels back and forth. And he's traveling currently back for the holidays, so he wasn't able to join us. But if you see the list down there, I think you see some typical things that are similar to our graduating class now. He was very active as an officer in ASCE, ACI, AGC. He was on the Steel Bridge team, and I'd say he was one of our first true quote unquote ambassadors. He was around when we were building the new building, and we kind of started that group then and didn't have the name. So was very giving of his time and talents, and still is. So congratulations, James, or Jim, as we go. And our next award, as I looked into this, and that Biz Journal article, they talk that he's one of the leading helicopter construction specialists in the field. So he actually goes around the country in areas and puts up poles or designs the systems for the construction of high towers that are done with helicopters. And as you know, we teach a lot of helicopter design here at S&T. So that's where he learned it all. And our next recipient,
Wendy Bailey Moore. And Wendy, you're on, right? You're on the call. I didn't know if James had made it on or not, but I saw Wendy.
Yes,
Wendy,
I'm here.
yeah. Congratulations, Wendy. And she received her Bachelor of Science in 2007 and her Master's in 2008. And I'm going to turn it back to Joel again to fill in some details. He probably knows some things about our award recipients that I don't. So back to you, Joel.
And I'll ask John Myers to chime in here too, but Amy's been very active as an alum and was as a student, a dual sport athlete, as well as active in Chi Epsilon. She was a TA during her time as a graduate student, active in Blue Key. And since that, she's actually been one of our leading alums in the KC area, doing some recruiting, but also working with the student send-off. And there's many other things I could list here. And I just this morning got a note from from Wendy that she's got a title change coming up. If she could share that, I didn't get a chance to pull it over.
Sure. So I'm in February, I'll be the new department manager for the Aviation and Federal Structural Department.
Awesome. And John Myers was her advisor. And if he'd mind saying a word or two.
Well, yeah, congratulations, Wendy. Very exciting to hear that news and acknowledge all your efforts with this award from our department. So over the years, I think I've worked with, over 50 graduate students. And the one thing I remember about Wendy was that she not only completed her undergraduate degree, but her master's degree. And she completed her master's degree within 1 year. And for a student to do that with an MS thesis was the first student I ever worked with that was that motivated. And Dr. Birkin also mentioned that she also helped TA a class. And her work resulted in at least 2 journal publications and several conference publications. And I was just always amazed at how well she managed so many things. You know, she was an athlete at S&T. She worked as a teaching assistant. She worked on a research project, obviously, and her time management skills were just always amazing to me. And she was a very strong academic student, of course. And so I'm thrilled to see her get this recognition from our department. And I think now she's just as good as a manager because she has a wonderful family, husband and kids, and also everything she's doing at work. So thanks for the opportunity to say a few kind words about Wendy, Joel. Congratulations.
And I should point out that for our graduating seniors and for alumni, we usually do these awards with the banquet at the Academy in April. But obviously that didn't happen. So I'm glad we were able to squeeze this in and get her here. The next 2 awards are going to be the Joseph Senne Awards, and we'll get through this pretty quick. But I needed to say at least a couple words about our legacy. And I don't think some of our alumni and some of our faculty probably appreciate some of the people that came before them. And Joe was amazing. He started teaching in 48 after he came back from World War II, where he was a map maker and essentially used the stars essentially to help guide our troops in the South Pacific. And towards the end of his career, he was always very big in astronomy and also in map making. So he was kind of in the forefront of remote sensing. But he designed the entire Stonehenge himself by hand on calculations, and not by hand setting each stone, but he was there as they set each stone. So that's kind of his crowning achievement for our campus. But an amazing leader in the chair for 20 years of our department. So in his name, I'll hand it back over to Bob, and we've got 2 awards for our faculty that follow and build, or excuse me, in Joe's footsteps.
Well, thanks, Joel. And on behalf of the Academy, I echo Amy's comments. So congratulations to this class. You're joining a wonderful line of alumni, and just kudos to you, especially in this era. The last 9-10 months, it's been a difficult final push for you. And I'm on the faculty, as Joel said, and I know what kind of stress the students are under. And so great job graduating seniors. And I also, when I showed up on campus, I'm in class of 87. Joe Senne was in his final year as department chairman. So I remember him as a gentleman and very quiet and understated, but obviously a scholar and a wonderful civil engineer. And so in his behalf, we have this teaching award that we give as part of the Academy of Civil Engineers, which is a group of alumni that started in 1972. Basically, our first award recipient is Dr. Bill Gillis. Many of you have had him. You know what kind of instructor he is. And Bill has been a wonderful member of the department, a great colleague. And Bill, you've done a lot of teaching. You're our go-to person when we have a building issue. It seems like you still can't escape your former role in the UM system, being over facilities. But really appreciate you, and on behalf of the Academy and the department, we say well done to you on your teaching award. I don't know, Joel, if you want to add any more.
No, well, obviously, I'd love to add a lot more. We'll keep moving. Bill's been giving in so many ways. Faculty advisor to 2 different organizations, but active in so many others. And I should put on here, active with EWB. He's led a number of trips and gives a lot of his talent and time to our students. And I'd say the biggest thing I can give as a compliment to Bill is he is a consummate educator. It doesn't stop at the classroom door. It doesn't stop at the office door. He's willing to give of his time, talent, insight, experience, whenever asked and in any way asked. And that is greatly appreciated. I commonly get back on our student evaluations at the end of senior design that he's very impactful for students that never even had him in the class. So congratulations, Bill. Well deserved.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And obviously the awards will be coming shortly. And our next award goes to, so this is in teaching and then in scholarly activity. This one in particular looks at up and coming contributions. So I'll hand it over to Bob again on behalf of the Academy.
So as Joel mentioned, we typically do these during our spring Academy meetings that we have on campus, and we were unable to do that this year. So we're doing them at this point. And Dr. XB Hugh is a newer member of the faculty, and obviously I think students underappreciate the role of research in our teaching and how that interplays with teaching on the campus. And XB has shown a very proficient and prolific role in attracting research money, and the great research that enables. It helps support students, graduate students. It helps support undergraduate research, plus the money that generates helps the department in doing additional things. So XB, on behalf of the Academy, we just give you this scholarly award, and we say well done to you. Joel?
And I'd just say he's energized the transportation area. We didn't have really a lot of activity in that area for quite some time. And he's brought in collaborators across the board. And our ITE group has been just energized as far as their activities. So congratulations, XB. And again, I would say this is a great example also of it's not just research, it's in the classroom. He's developed new courses. And on that, he actually had a 4.0 teaching evaluation last semester, as well as being very, very productive as a young faculty. Congratulations, XB.
Thank you all. That's very good surprise. Thank you.
And back to Amy.
I am so privileged and honored to get to talk about Joanne a little bit. So I don't need to tell the students and the faculty that you guys, everything would come to a grinding halt, right? Without the people that are keeping the wheels greased and making things happen. And trust me, I bug Joanne and Jody and Jeannie on a regular basis, and I can't imagine what other requests they're getting from everybody else too. So there's just so much going on, and I cannot say enough wonderful things about how helpful. And Joanne, I just thank you so much. I love working with you. And it's just, I'm looking forward to continuing that relationship, and I will turn it back to Joel I'm sure he has a few little other details to relate. Thanks, Joanne.
Thank you.
We are complimented a lot on how we present ourselves, both to this hits recruiting, it hits our alumni, it hits our peers across campus, and quite frankly, that's all on Joanne's lap, and she carries us in a way that's hard to express. The quality of the work that's put out there. And this is on a national level. So I hear from our peers coast to coast. So congratulations, Joanne. Well deserved, and thank you. And as that says at the bottom, we're not always the best looking group around here. So put lipstick on the pig, so to say, when you look at some of us, and finding a camera angle that makes us look good, and recoloring things is very great talent. So and I'm going to roll back to the students now, and we're going to have a chance to just kind of share a few words as it goes back to the scroll. But I really want to say that we have great expectations. The graduates before you, and I'm glad that we had a chance to share some of the alumni accomplishments with you all, because that is where you launch from. You have a legacy before you and a reputation coming from S&T, UMR, from Rolla, that few graduates across the country really have at that level. And I look for you to be giving of yourselves in the way that others have given for you, and the way the Academy supports you, and the way our faculty have done. So I'm going to flip back over to the school here. And, whoops, I need to go back a couple, excuse me.
Need your keys.
And it's going backwards.
Are your keys handy?
Good morning.
I'm sorry. I got to get back to
Thank you
war.
for joining us this morning.
No.
Modigani and
Can't see what's the. Yeah, okay. Apologize, I have to go back and grab this from Jody's email, I believe. I'm going to stop the share here for just a second.
You're still sharing.
I know, I'm working on it.
Okay.
There you go. So if this could be the open mic session for a second here too. And I will go back to getting the scroll rolling.
So a beam walks into a bar. The barman says, "What would you like, good sir?" The beam says, "Just give me a moment."
Nice.
So while you all recover from Dr. Showalter's statement, I'll just make a pitch for those of you moving into the alumni ranks to stay in touch with the campus. I can tell you that as you get out and try to make money and do a family or whatever else, it's easy to get lost with your roots. I ask that you continue to remember where you came from, and keep in touch with the campus, keep in touch with the department.
And this is a great spot for any other groaning jokes, but also open mic from the students. And we'll have a few closing remarks, but we wanted to make sure we got through the scroll and had a chance to see all of our graduates multiple times. We're a little bit further up. And I apologize for it kept scrolling while we were doing the awards. Other comments from any of our students?
Yeah, I'll say a few things. So for those who don't know, my name is Vito. I went to the co-op program with Missouri State and the University of Missouri Science and Technology. And, I just broadly just want to say thank you. I'm a non-traditional. I went from, working part-time or going to school part-time at a community college and working to starting the program in Missouri State and gravitating towards S&T. And, my interactions with all the professors at our program was great. Everybody was helpful and understanding for the situation. And, it's definitely, you can tell that everybody has everybody wants to see you succeed. So just thank you.
Any other comments from the group? We often have a chance to kind of stand up at our luncheon and share a few words.
So I actually have a few words on behalf of our staff and a few of the teachers. So Dr. Birkin contacted me and asked if I would say a few words, particularly to the staff. So first off, congrats to all the graduates. You guys did it. You're leaving Rolla and you won the game. But graduation isn't a lone victory. It's a team game. Sure, we got our classmates, friends, parents, the kid we did the group project with and still want to smother. And if you can't remember that person, it's probably you. But we forget those people who weren't our professors. But they're the only reason we got to do what we did. So here's just a few of those people that made it possible. David resides in 211D. When Darlene retired, he became in charge of the student organization's money. If you were a leader, you may have been to his office to ask for the credit card, give receipts to get paid back, or check the balance. Many of us don't know his name, but we were affected by his work. So thank you, David. Robin resides in 211E. The paper in the computer lab didn't run out because she orders it along with most all the supplies. She kept the finances straight, and at the end of the day, if you work for the department as a TA or undergrad research, you might want to thank her. She had a hand in it, specifically in getting us on the payroll and accept that we got hired. So thank you. Joanne is tucked away in 225A. She's everything communications and public relations. Our newsletter, website, organizations all rely on Joanne and don't even know it. I got lucky to meet her when I was trying to figure out how to set up an AGC event. And she told me to buy chips and cookies because they would last, but they were also a little different than just doing pizza. She was right. So thank you, Joanne, for opening your door to us. Not a lot of us know the names of the custodians. I didn't until recently, despite always getting that warm smile from them or even a passing conversation. Well, it's Tracy, Bonnie, and Terry. If you're on campus today, please see if you can find one of them. They keep the floor shiny, the bathrooms clean, and they had the horrible job of cleaning up after us in the classrooms because there was always papers or trash on the floor. So thank you. It's too often we forget you, but we've always appreciated you. Jeannie, she's the graduate advising administrator, but you'd almost think she was part of the undergraduate team because as undergraduates, we're not on her to-do list. But if you walked in the advising center and need help, Jeannie will do what she can. She always seems to have a warm smile or a proud look on her face for anyone who comes her way. On a good day and on a bad day, Jeannie is always prepared to give a comfort or a congratulations. Sometimes I couldn't always call my parents for that moment of encouragement. They were busy. So thank you, Jeannie, for stepping up. Also, I don't know how many other kids can say this, but thanks for feeding me. More than once you offered me food, and sometimes that became my lunch for the day. So thank you for going above and beyond. Now, finally, we would not be here without Jody Seeley. Literally, She's in charge of transferring us from the freshman and junior department into the department. She opened up more seats in classes and more sections so we could take all the classes we wanted when we needed to take them. When everything went wrong, Jody has kind words, an email, and about 6 clicks on her computer. Then it's all okay. You're a wizard, Jody. If you ever needed someone to tell the good news, Jody was your gal. She was there for every A on the really hard test, every job offer, every big moment, and you could walk in and get a proud love of a parent. She knows how hard it is and has an amazing stress ball collection for all those moments. For 3 years or more, Jody watches us grow and walk past her office. So thank you, Jody. So I'm hoping I can get a round of applause or a Zoom clap emoji or just flood the chat with thanks to our staff, both mentioned and not, for all they've done and the impact they've made in our lives.
Yeah, now I need to cut in here and I'll give it back to Devin after this. This is a thank you shout out for Dr. Showalter. Dr. Showalter gets little recognition for the amount of work he does for our department. Not only did he win AGC Educator of the Year, but I think he would make a tough case for S&T Educator of the Year as well. Besides teaching, he takes care of a lot of work that we take for granted. I'm not sure if he keeps his door closed so much because he has so much work to do or because it's just so messy in there. But Albert Einstein once said, if a cluttered desk is the sign of a cluttered mind, what then is an empty desk? We have a lot of reasons to appreciate Dr. Showalter. He makes an excellent mentor and he really helps prepare students to enter the real world because he's been there himself and he knows what it's like. Dr. Showalter is an example of what we ought to strive for at S&T, always willing to help others, being an incredible engineer and going the extra mile. So please show Dr. Showalter a sign of your appreciation. And thank you, Dr. Showalter, for all you've done for me and all the other students. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Raymond.
And this is truly an open mic time for anybody to share any thanks or congrats they want to.
Well, I think someone's going to get missed on this. So Dr. Birkin, you arranged this meeting, but I don't know if anyone remembers to thank you for that. So here's a few kind words. You have more on your plate than Raymond does at Thanksgiving dinner. Not only were you teaching classes, running the department, doing research, talking with alumni, dealing with whatever organization you had to, dealing with my and many others' antics, raising a family, and so much more, but you took time to get to know each of us and help us with an open door. I'm glad I could help you with a tour, an alumni, a speaker, or some other random task. You did so much for us that you didn't need, that we all wanted to help you. You never gave up on us. This semester was like going up Spit Creek without a paddle, and you jumped in and pulled the boat as hard as you could, while the rest of us were trying to calculate the flow and arguing over Manning's coefficients. I hope everyone can give you a round of applause because you've just done a great job and been great for the department. So thank you for everything, and thanks for all you've done for me.
Thanks. Any other, please feel free to share if there's somebody who made a difference in your career or congrats to students. And I will, I'll correct you, Devin, and say I didn't get to know everybody this semester. I see some of the people come across here and I know who you are, but I don't know them. And that's one of the things that really sucks about this semester and this year was missing that interaction and getting to know the seniors along the way at the level I'd like. And I know that goes for everybody. And I know you guys in particular missed out on that peer interaction that you so richly deserved and earned up until this point. Thank you. Please, other comments from the crew? I know it's daunting, but we'd love to hear. Does anybody want to give a shout out to? Otherwise, you're stuck listening to me. And one is we will send the scroll out. And thanks to Jody and Joanne for getting this together. We're very fortunate to have the talents of this group to pull things together and get this out very quickly. So thanks all, and I'm glad you joined in. Thanks for the kind words, Vito and Raymond and Devin, amongst others. Any other comments? Well, I'll start this one more time, I guess, to the end, and I'll have some parting comments. But again, love to hear from anybody or in the chat. All right, so as it closes out, and to embarrass Raymond and Stephen, I will share the link as I quit the share here and get that one out there. As you leave Rolla, I think you'll appreciate that a little bit more for the seniors that are graduating, indeed. As we see, we've got a great group of people. And Bethany was an undergrad recently and graduating now with distance. We've got our graduate students listed in here. And again, I'll go back to the beginning and let it roll. So kind of as I said previously, commencement is the term of beginning, not the ending. And as you go forth, you're embarking on the next stage in career. Probably been in school, let me guess, for most of you, for the better part of the last 19 to 22 years, almost straight, or let's see, 16 to 22. And that's been a big part of your life, and you'll be leaving that behind. Some of you will stay in school. But from here on, you're minors. And you, like I said, join a legacy of engineers and people and expectations that are rare. And I hope you appreciate that and also call on it. You've got a network behind you and partners and mentors ahead of you that are there to help you along the way and should do so givingly and thankfully. When I talk to alumni, they're thrilled to have people reach out and ask of their insight. And I hope you feel the same way in the future, that if a current student reaches out and asks for help getting a position or how to interview, any of those that you've had the advantage or the fortune to have in the past, I hope you'll willingly and gladfully and thankfully give that going forward too. And again, you've got a network of fantastically talented people that are willing and desire to give of their time and talent. When I asked for some people to jump on here today, it came really quickly. And I should also check if Bazad, did you get a chance to join in? I can't see everybody with my screen, but one of our Academy officers, board members was going to join in, John Comlos from ARCO. And across the hall sits one of our recent grads, only 3 years ago, I think. And he still had his Senior Achievement Award sitting on his desk, and they grabbed it and shot me a picture of it. And he wanted to join in. So like I said, there's a network of recent grads to very seasoned leaders in our field that are there for you. And I hope you can see the scroll and a few of the congratulations. That again, I welcome any and everybody to offer comments, and I'll open it up, kind of open mic one more time here before we get to awkward silence. And again, if there's anyone who wants to thank a peer, a parent, you're more than welcome to use some time right now. And this is where we get that awkward Zoom silence kicking in.
I want to thank everybody, and I wish I could have seen more of everybody. But I know a lot of times the MSU students get kind of left behind because they're not here as much, but hopefully they still get to participate in all of my lovely emails and stuff like that. And I've gotten to know quite a few of them since we've been doing everything online, so it's super nice. I've seen lots of stuff in the comments about, Dr. Tawari and Dr. Thomas and Dr. Carroll and all of those guys down there. And, you can't forget Sarah either. So I'm super excited that I get to work with all those guys all the time. And I just wish I could see people a little bit more often.
Yeah. We missed getting down there a little bit more. I've seen people, period, this semester. Comments?
Joel?
Dr. Birkin, I'd just like to make one comment on the military students that we have. We don't talk about them, but they're a great resource to both Rolla and to the rest of the country. And I've kind of got a bond with them because my dad was a military officer, so I always kind of appreciate them in the class. And so, like I said, I'd like to thank the military students. And I recently had a student named Kevin, who is a Army captain who just leaving for Korea here shortly, and he gave me good news last night. He called me and let me know that he passed his PE exam. So it was really good news to hear, and I love to hear from the students. So thank you very much.
I'll say it must have been announcement season. I got about 3 or 4 sending me snapshots of their I passed screenshot. So I was thrilled to see that success.
Joel, this is Amy. I just wanted to say one more time on behalf of the Academy, congratulations to the faculty award winners, the young alumni winners, all the senior awards, and congratulations to Joanne and all of the seniors graduating. Everybody, it's just so awesome to see this, you guys making it through a rough time, and thanks for everything everybody's done, and best of luck and good wishes to all the graduating seniors, and we hope to see you back around in years coming up. Congratulations.
Well said, Dean. Last comments? Any of our seniors?
Hey, I think Dr. Sneed is leaving, right?
Yes.
I wanted to say thanks to her for being an excellent professor and for all the personalized attention.
If the seniors hadn't heard, we are losing a very special part of our team for greater opportunities. And it's sad to see her go, but it's also a great new beginning for her. So congratulations, Leslie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Comments? Any of the faculty want to share any send-offs?
I just want to wish all the graduates best of luck and success. And, we didn't have the opportunity to do the Order of the Engineer recently, which is where you take an oath in terms of your engineering ethics. So hopefully we'll be able to do that at some point in the future, maybe remotely, Joel, and invite them to come back and do that, I hope. And I would just encourage all of you as you get involved in either further education or industry, always try to do the right thing. We could stand for, higher levels of ethics, and sometimes we don't focus on it enough, I think, in our curriculum. But the job that you'll have in industry and as a practicing engineering is very important for public safety. And I encourage you to always remember that aspect of what you'll be doing. Congratulations again to each and every one of you.
That is very, very true. We'll go back to the beginning and just say congratulations to all. And I will send out a note, a little bit of a change from university policy. They are graduating seniors. You'll maintain your S&T email for some time, but please stay in touch. We want to keep you as part of our team and be able to reach out to you as well. So I'll send a note to everybody graduating, and I'm sure you probably get that from the group as well. Parting comments? One last joke from anybody?
I don't know if Eric can top that last one. I don't know. Got another one, Eric? A construction one instead of a structures joke?
Geez, I don't know. No, I actually didn't come with a lot of jokes prepared. I'm sorry. And Schoenberg's not on here is the best thing, because He's usually the ones with the really bad jokes.
Well, I don't, we should have maintained a list of Rick Stevenson jokes. Those were pretty interesting
You
ones.
just got to go find some old highlights for children. They're all in there. So here's a Rick Stevenson joke. A lot of you don't know him, but here's a classic one from, I think, a senior luncheon. How do Eskimos hold their houses together? Igloo.
Well, on that one.
You asked for it.
Thank you all. This has been a heck of a semester, a heck of a year. I wish you all health, happiness, and a joyous holiday season.
Congratulations, seniors. Very happy for you. Now you start your next chapter. But don't forget us. Come back and visit.
Don't forget Fitch, no matter how hard you tried. Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Joanne, for putting this on.
Congratulations.
Much appreciated. All right. Wishing you all the best. Take care.